You ever wake up thinking it's just another ordinary morning, only to realize your entire world's about to flip upside down before you even get through your first cup of coffee? That's exactly where I found myself standing in my kitchen, hair still wet slippers, half on when suddenly the front yard lit up like a Christmas tree. Red and blue lights everywhere. 3 cop cars right at my ranch gate. My old dog Buck going berserk on the porch, and I'm standing there holding my favorite mug, staring out the window like, what in the world did I do now? You know what I mean? Next thing, there's a bang on the door. Sir, come out with your hands where we can see them. And the lead officer, this woman with a serious jaw and a stare that could freeze water, asks if I'm Samuel Blake. I nod, more confused than scared, and she goes, "We received a complaint from the Oak Ridge Meadows. HOA, someone says you're trespassing here, living without permission. Can you prove you own this place?" Now I nearly laugh out loud because this land has been in my family for 3 generations. My granddad built the first fence post. My dad poured every bit of sweat into these fields, and here I am accused of squatting on my own ranch. But before I can say a word, she shows up, Nancy, the queen of Oak Ridge herself, in high heels and a jacket red enough to stop traffic. She struts right up like she owns the county, arms folded, sunglasses glinting, and tells the officers, he's violating our HOA expansion zone, ignored our notices, breaking all kinds of rules with livestock. A generator buildings, he needs to be removed. Removed, I tell you, I nearly lost it. Now the officer, she's all business. Sir, do you have proof of ownership? Buck starts growling at Nancy like he knows she's trouble, and I just reach in my wallet, pull out the old deed, original and notarized. They take it, go, call it in, and I see Nancy's confidence start melting away, just dripping off her face while she tries to keep her chin up. Standing there on my own land, waiting for the law to tell me if I get to stay, man, it'll make you question everything. Let me back up a sec because this isn't the kind of thing that happens out of nowhere. My name's Sam Blake. I'm a retired firefighter, lived most of my life dreaming about the day I could come back to the ranch. 30 acres of Colorado pines, deer peace, and a dog who's better company than half the folks I know. The city life wasn't for me. Too much noise, too many rules. Out here the air's cleaner, the coffee tastes better, and every sunrise feels like a blessing. Or at least it did until Nancy moved in across the ridge. First time I saw her, she was yelling on her phone in the grocery parking lot, standing next to a shiny SUV, mad about someone parking too close. We lock eyes. I give her a nod. She looks at me like I tracked mud through her kitchen. The second time she drives straight up to my gate, ringing the bell, and before I can say a word, she's shoving an HOA rule book and an initiation fee at me, telling me I have to join Oak Ridge Meadows. I tell her politely, my land was never part of the HOA. She says, I'm in the new district now. I laugh. She doesn't. That's when I knew she was serious. After that, it's like someone declared a private war. Red arrows show up painted on my tree's mailbox, gets smashed. My Wi-Fi cable's cut. Buck comes limping home one night like someone threw something at him. I don't fight back, I just want peace. But Nancy, she starts handing out fake fines, $3,000 for non-compliance. I call the county, they confirm she has no authority over my ranch. But Nancy doubles down, starts parking outside, taking photos, spreading rumors. I'm a squatter blocking my driveway by accident. It's harassment, plain and simple. Then one day, my neighbor Doug, a Vietnam vet with more stories than I can count, shows up with a peach pie and a warning. She's telling the whole clubhouse you forged your deed. Hired a lawyer, too. Says there'll be a surveyor coming. I thank him, and sure enough, 2 days later, there's a strange pickup out back, a man taking notes by my fence. Says he's been hired by the HOA for boundary review. I tell him he's on private property. He gets real nervous and leaves quick. That's when I decide enough's enough. I drive into town, get every document and map copied, bring them to the next HOA meeting. Walk in wearing muddy boots, lay the proof down, and say I'm not looking for a fight. Just want to be left alone. Some folks believe me. One lady stands up and says, "He's got the papers. She's just making noise." Doug backs me up. Nancy fumes but can't say a word. But the crazy doesn't stop. One night I wake to water roaring through my south field. Fence posts gone, chickens clucking for higher ground, the tool shed listing sideways in the mud. I follow the flood to a broken irrigation pipe, and in the dirt, a little red bead from Nancy's signature bracelet. Yeah, that happened. I call Pete, an environmental inspector, an old buddy, and he confirms someone tampered with the valve on purpose. We take photos, gather evidence, but I keep it quiet for now. A few days later, the county health shows up, anonymous complaint about my water and animal waste. I show them everything, even offer them a cup of coffee. They leave saying, my setup is the cleanest they've seen. Nancy's out of moves or so, I think. Then a shed behind the HOA homes catches fire, winds blowing hard flames, heading straight for my fence line. I grab my hose boots half on and start fighting the blaze. When the fire chief arrives, he finds me covered in ash, drenched in sweat. But the fire stopped at my boundary. Nancy comes running down the hill screaming, "He did this! He's getting revenge!" The chief just laughs. "Ma'am, this man just saved your neighborhood." Now, here comes the twist. Pete's investigation turns up that Nancy's not just harassing me, she's been using HOA money for unauthorized landscaping, dumping waste on my side, skimming funds for beautification. I show up at the next meeting, drop all the proof on the table, and the room explodes. Nancy tries to deny it, but no one believes her anymore. The board forces her to resign right then and there, and the sheriff comes knocking a week later with embezzlement charges. But you know how these stories go. It's never really over. The new HOA president, Lydia, sends me a letter, says they're filing to annex my fields for community safety. I'm back at the county office with every document I own, even find an old photo of my granddad building the fence with Buck's great-grandpa. When they send in bulldozers to expand the walking trail right through my west field, I call the sheriff, and thanks to Doug's niece, she works for the news, it gets aired all over TV. The county shuts the whole project down, the state gets involved, and at the public hearing, I lay it all out. Historic maps, deeds, photos, even my dad's handwritten land journal. The board rules in my favor, slaps a cease and desist on the HOA, and for the first time in months I can breathe again. The most satisfying part, the day Nancy's daughter Lisa shows up, all nerves and apologies, handing me a photo of my granddad at the old barn. She says, "I hope you find some peace," and for a moment I do, I really do. So what would you have done in my boots? Where do you draw the line between standing your ground and letting things slide for the sake of peace? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me where you're watching from. And let's talk about justice, about community, about drawing the line when someone tries to take what's yours. Like, subscribe, share if you think karma should always come full circle, because out here sometimes it really does.